Hello everyone. Biology is all about understanding the concept. So today we will be discussing the handwritten notes on the fundamental unit of life, chapter 5 of class 9. The key concepts of this chapter are historical perspective related to cell discovery, study of microscope, study of effect of hypertonic, isotonic and hypertonic solution with respect to osmosis in cell. Next three are the important components of the cell wall, nucleus and the cytoplasm. At last, another important component of cell, that is the cell organelles. In this video, you have been provided with the notes for the first three important components of the cell. The next part will be about the cell organelles. So the first thing we need to understand is the title of the chapter, the fundamental unit of life. What is fundamental unit of life and why it is called so? All the living organisms are made up of a fundamental unit of life which is called cell. Cell is called as the fundamental unit of life. Fundamental unit because it is the basic or the smallest unit or structure almost same in every organism. The cell is a Latin word for a little room. Now we shall discuss the historical perspective related to discovery. Robert Hooke in the year 5 saw that the cog, a substance that comes from the bark of the tree, resembled the structure of a honeycomb, consisting of many little compartments. Robert Hooke called these little compartments as cells. This chance observation was made by a cell-design microscope. Leeuwenhoek in 1674, with the improved microscope, discovered free living cells in pond water for the first time. Robert Brown in 1831 discovered the nucleus and the cell. Purkinje in 1839 coined the term protoplasm for the fluid part of the cell. Sladen in 1838 and Sequan in 1839 individually proposed the cell theory, which stated that all plants and animals are composed of cells. Rudolf Virchow in 1855 further expanded the cell theory, which stated that all cells arise from pre-existing cells. He stated this in Latin as omnis cellula e cellula. The microscope. The compound microscope consists of eyepiece, objective lens and condenser to observe the plant cell after putting a drop of safranin and animal cell after putting a drop of methylene blue. Unicellular and multicellular organisms. Uni means single and multi means many. Unicellular are the organisms which are made up of only single cells, as in amoeba, chlamydomonas and bacteria. Multicellular organisms. When many cells are grouped together in a single organism and different cells perform different functions. For example, fungi, plants and animals. It is said that every multicellular organism has come from a single cell. But how? Cells divide to produce cells of their own kind. All cells thus comes from pre-existing cells. There are different types of cells. Some organisms can have different kinds of cells, for example, the human body, as of smooth muscle cells, blood cells, nerve cells, etc. The shape and size of the cells are related to the specific function they perform. Some cells change their shapes, example amoeba, and in some cases the cell shape could be more or less fixed and peculiar or specific for a particular type of cell. For example, the nerve cells in body. How does a living cell perform the basic function? There is a division of labor in multicellular organisms, such as the human body has heart to pump blood, a stomach to digest, and so on. Similarly, division of labor is also seen within each single cell. Each such cell has got certain specific components within it known as cell organelles. Each kind of cell organelles perform a special function. A cell is able to live and perform all its function because of these ways. What is a cell made up of? What is the structural organization of a cell? A cell would have these features: plasma membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm. Cells have special components called organelles. First, plasma membrane. The outermost covering of the cell. It is called as selectively permeable because it prevents the movement. The plasma membrane is flexible and is made up of organic molecules called lipids and proteins. It helps in diffusion and osmosis, the two important phenomena required for the transport of material inside the cell. Diffusion. It is the movement of substance from a region of high concentration to a region of low concentration. Example, exchange of carbon dioxide or oxygen with external environment. Suppose the oxygen concentration in the atmosphere is high, whereas it is low inside the body. So the oxygen molecules, they move from the region of high concentration, that is from the environment. Water also obeys the law of diffusion. Next is osmosis. It is the passage of water from the region of high water concentration to a region of low water concentration through a selectively permeable membrane. Remember, osmosis involves the movement of water molecules across the selectively permeable membrane. Difference between diffusion and osmosis. Osmosis, it involves the movement of solvent molecules, whereas diffusion, it involves the movement of solute molecules. Osmosis. In osmosis, the molecules move from lower concentration of solute to higher concentration of solute. In diffusion, molecules move from higher concentration of solute to lower concentration of solute. Osmosis, it occurs across only semi-permeable membrane, whereas diffusion does not require semi-permeable membrane. Example for osmosis is shrinking of potato slice when kept in concentrated sucrose, whereas the example for diffusion is the spreading of ink when a drop of it is put in a glass of water. Now we will discuss the effect of solutions on plant cell or animal cell. There are different types of solutions. First is hypotonic solution, isotonic solution, and hypertonic solution. Before we discuss the effect of solution, we need to know how solutions are prepared. A solution is prepared by dissolving the solute particles in the solvent. Salt or sugar, and solvent can be water. First, if the medium surrounding the cell has a higher concentration of water than the cell, meaning that the outside solution is very dilute, the cell will gain water by osmosis called endoosmosis, and such a solution is called hypotonic solution. In this case, the cell is likely to swell up. Next, effect of isotonic solution. If the medium surrounding the cell has exactly the same water concentration as the cell, there will be no net movement of water across the cell membrane. Such a solution is called isotonic solution. In this case, there is no overall movement of water. The cell will stay the same size. Effect of hypertonic solution. If the medium surrounding the cell has a lower concentration of water than the cell, meaning that it is a very concentrated solution, the cell will lose water through osmosis called exoosmosis. Such a solution is called hypertonic solution. In this case, the cell will shrink. Endocytosis. The flexibility of cell membrane also enables the cell to engulf in food and other material from its external environment. Such a process is known as endocytosis. Amoeba acquires its food through endocytosis by forming the podia. Next, cell wall. In plant cell, in addition to plasma membrane, there is another rigid outer covering called cell wall. It lies outside the plasma membrane. In plant cell, cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose. Cell wall is a non-living component and gives strength to the plants. Cell wall allows the cells of plants, fungi and bacteria to withstand very dilute, that is hypotonic external media without bursting. Plasmolysis. When a living plant cell loses water through osmosis, then there is shrinkage or contraction of the contents of the cell away from the cell wall. This phenomenon. Next component is nucleus. It is a dark-colored, spherical or oval, dot-like structure near the center of the cell called nucleus. The nucleus has a double-layered covering called nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane has pores which allow the transfer of material from inside the nucleus to its outside, that is, to the cytoplasm. The nucleus contains chromosomes which are visible as rod structures only when the cell is about to divide. Chromosome contains the information for inheritance of features from parents to next generation in the form of DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA molecules contain the information necessary for constructing and organizing cells. Functional segments of DNA are called genes. Chromatin. In a cell which is not dividing, this DNA is present as part of chromatin material. Chromatin material is visible as entangled mass of thread-like structures. Whenever the cell is about to divide, the chromatin material gets organized into chromosomes. The nucleus plays a central role in the cellular reproduction, the process by which a single cell divides and forms two new cells. It also plays a crucial part, along with the environment, in determining the way the cell will develop and what form it will exhibit at maturity by directing the chemical activity of the cell. In some organic bacteria, the nuclear region of the cell may be poorly defined due to the absence of a nuclear membrane. Such an undefined nuclear region containing only nucleic acid is called a nucleoid. Such organisms whose cells lack a nuclear membrane are called prokaryotes. Pro means primitive or primary, whereas karyote or karyon means nucleus. Organisms with cell having a nuclear membrane are called eukaryotes. Prokaryotic cells also lack most of the other cytoplasmic organelles present in eukaryotic cells. Many of the functions of such organelles are also performed by poorly organized parts of the cytoplasm. The chlorophyll in photosynthetic prokaryotic bacteria is associated with membranous vesicles but not with plastids, as in eukaryotic cells. The plastids are membrane-bound organelles, and in prokaryotes, none of the membrane-bound organelles are present. Next, protoplasm. All cells contain living substances called protoplasm. It is jelly-like viscous colorless semi-fluid substance in which various cell organelles and inclusion remains in colloidal form, that is, not dissolved but simply present in the semi-fluid substance. Protoplasm can be distinguished in two forms, cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. Cytoplasm. It is that part of protoplasm which surrounds the nucleus. Nucleoplasm is that fluid part of protoplasm which is located inside the nucleus. So, protoplasm consists of cytoplasm and the nucleoplasm. Cytoplasm. The part of the cell which occurs between the plasma membrane and nucleus is called the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm consists of an aqueous or fluid content containing a variety of cell organelles and other inclusions such as insoluble waste and storage products. Chemically, cytoplasm contains about 90% water, 7% proteins, 2% carbohydrates and lipids, and 1% inorganic material. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much.